Okay, so if you're on this channel to find out who is going to win this match, then your guess is as good as mine. What I'm going to do for you is lay out exactly what could make each team win or lose this match. Trust me, there really is no telling, and it's pretty sad that the Red Devils are now punk asses of the footballing community, swimming in the sewers with the rats and the cockroaches and the mice and the worms and all that mucky stuff. But when you make the wrong moves up in the boardroom, it then translates to what happens on the pitch. So it's not that straightforward. United loyal fans who don't want to hear anything bad about their club are hoping that this is the first win away in 11 matches, but trust me, it's not going to be that straightforward. And if you know anything about the critique, is when he picks a certain side or a certain angle of an issue. It's something you should really take seriously. So stay tuned as I lay down exactly how it can go wrong or right for United today. Okay, so the match is going to be won in the area that is being patrolled by Ashley Young and Matic or Fred and Joelinton and Christian Atsu, if those people make it onto the pitch. So that's somewhere on the United's back right angle of the pitch. Right now there is no Paul Pogba, so expect Ashley Young and Scott McTominay to be controlling possession for Manchester United. That's the area that United will be controlling and the area that Newcastle can attack. So that's where the clash is going to be. Now, why can I actually see this as the center of the confrontation is because for Newcastle, the only way that they are probably going to penetrate Manchester United is via Christian Atsu and Joelinton, who have got the ability to penetrate. All right. In addition to the ability to penetrate, they can actually work together in a way that can probably form one of Newcastle's two main attacking options. Now, what are Newcastle's attacking options? First of all, is to use Joelinton in the air against Lindelof. As we all know, Lindelof is as punk as Jones in the air, is very vulnerable. If you put the ball in the air, you're done with Lindelof. Lindelof is also vulnerable with the ball going through the side. And those two players, Atsu and Joelinton, can actually exploit that in two or more ways. First of all, Joelinton can just go for Lindelof in the air, going at goal from long balls. Joelinton can also knock the ball down for Atsu, who can dribble past Ashley Young and Lindelof. And those who know these two cats from United know that they're not good at marking and will be dribbled past easily. Another route is for Atsu, probably just to dribble past these guys. If you remember Atsu from last season against Manchester United, even though United won courtesy of refereeing errors and the likes, Atsu gave Manchester United the time of their lives. He really created chances and went at them. Now he's got a very suitable partner in Joelinton and the Manchester United, which is hapless and weak. So expect him to do some damage if he actually manages to get on the pitch. Add Williams to the cocktail. Williams can actually overlap and provide that extra attacking edge. So this is how Newcastle can actually attack United, how it can actually just be a wild card type of a match. Now Manchester United can also do the same to Newcastle, because Newcastle is also as crappy as United right now. If you notice how Newcastle approach their defense, they do not mark a man like straight up. They don't approach to tackle. Okay, I mean, forgive the Hayden thing. Last week he was just probably straight from the club, had some shisha or something. But if you look at Newcastle, it does zonal marking for whatever reason. Steve Bruce, let us know why they do this. Maybe some Newcastle fans, let us know why it does this, because it doesn't work. Is it that Steve Bruce says that these guys don't know how to mark, so let me do zonal? But if you noticed against Leicester and all other matches, you can actually just go at Newcastle, it backs off into the net, and you actually can take a long range shot if you want. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to show whether or not he's tactically astute by the decision to either include or exclude Daniel James from this team. He probably will include him because he's short of manpower, but Daniel James is supposed to play this match. This is the match that James can actually do something about. Why do I say that? Newcastle backs into its area so much. Daniel James can do his whole curling shot of a thingy. It's best to put him at the wing, not the gunman. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer puts him at a gun, then you'll notice that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a punk, right? But if you put him at the wing, then they've got a chance. So United can actually attack Newcastle because Newcastle will give it space, and Newcastle can attack United through the Joelinton X's as they go after Ashley Young. So this and other factors will make this a wildcard type of match that I advise you do not bet on, especially if you're a Manchester United fan. They might actually have good odds at the bookie, but trust me, the bookie is one sleek punk who's out there to make money off people like you who make decisions based on their heart. So let me go on and actually now elaborate on some other issues that make this a wildcard match, but this is the most important thing that I've just mentioned that will swing this match either way. Now, what you might find interesting is Newcastle has more ways to attack United than Manchester United can attack Newcastle. As you know, Manchester United's go-to route has been the Pogba-Rashford axis that I've mentioned in previous previews and reviews, where Pogba finds the ball and finds the way to find Rashford, who's got a very good first touch, even though his brain gets scrambled when he gets in front of the goalie and he does some funny stuff. But that's a route to go United do not have in this match, because whoever will replace Paul Pogba, be it Matic or Fred, cannot deliver the long balls, does not have the vision to actually do that. Now, that leaves United with what I mentioned right now about James curling the ball in, probably Pereira curling the ball in, and McTominay also hitting long shots. United can actually use long shots to get at Dubravka because you know that she's in such bad form. Now, what can Newcastle do that's actually more effective than that is to let Atsu drive at Young and Lindelof and get to the byline and concede some corner kicks. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows what's good for him, and his ailing reputation is to ensure that Newcastle does not get corner kicks. Why? Because the fact that Shelvey is out and Hayden is out means most likely Key is starting. Now, if Key starts, Key hits the corner kicks, and Key is excellent at set pieces, especially from corner kicks. Manchester United fans, you also know him from his days at Swansea. He can do the damage. If Key is actually hitting the corner kicks, expect Joelinton to target Lindelof and probably destroy him in the air. Now, even if United is not good at set pieces, as was actually asked by one of the journalists in the conference today, the press conference, Newcastle is a small team which relies on such instances. So Newcastle have got more routes to go than Manchester United. Like I said, United have got the long shots, which are also a kind of like a long shot. It's got the long curling from Daniel James, which is also a long shot. But Newcastle have Joelinton in the air. They've got Atsu on the ground. They've got a corner kick strategy with Key, Atsu, and Joelinton involved, among other sort of like approaches. So it's looking a bit like a Newcastle wildcard match. So this is something that you should really take care of. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should not do the following things to ensure that he doesn't have problems with this strategy. First of all, do not let Atsu to the byline. So he should ensure that he mans his people carefully though. And now for United to have a share of possession in the match, which they're actually supposed to have, because Newcastle also tends to let the opposition actually get the possession. You should put McTominay and Young at the same side of the pitch, because these are two players who flourish in position when Paul Pogba is not in the match. Young actually does flourish in position even if Pogba is on the pitch, like he did against Arsenal, but McTominay sort of like comes to life when Paul Pogba is not on the pitch. So if you're putting McTominay on Tuanzebe's side, or whoever you're putting on the left, and then you put Young on the right, you are actually, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, depriving Manchester United of that center of control from which they can build the game attacks, etc. So we shall analyze Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactical astuteness or lack of it from which side he places McTominay on. It's very important. McTominay should be beside Young, not be beside Tuanzebe. Okay, just some talking points from the Arsenal match. You'll notice that Tuanzebe actually caused United to lose those 2 points. So much for the class of 92 talk. Let me know in the comments below if you think Tuanzebe will recover and actually play a good role at the left back. I think not, but some of you hopeful Manchester United fans might have a say about that, so just let me know. With Pogba out, you'll probably notice that you need to replace him with either Matic or Fred. I say go for Fred. Fred is offering more than Matic going forward and going backwards. Even though he's not a central midfielder by design, he'll probably do a better job than Matic. So we'll see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will deal with that. I mean, Matic is not giving any chances going forward, not creative anything, and is leaking going backward. So the question is, what is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinking about him there? So put Fred there. If he does not put Fred, then we know he's pretty silly. And for Tuanzebe, I think it's better if you just put Ashley Young on the left, maybe with McTominay on the left, then you put Dalot on the right, because defensively, none of our defenders are actually doing a very good job of shoring up or covering the gears. So it's all about who's better going forward. And you noticed in the game against Alkmaar that even if Dalot sucked as a defender, he actually was giving something going forward. And looking at Newcastle and the way that they like to retreat, I would suggest that you start Dalot on the right and Young on the left. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we'll be talking about British young talent, and put Tuanzebe there, then he messes up the game. Then we move on from there. Another thing that I noticed from the Arsenal game, and even games so far this season, is Manchester United, Paul Pogba and McTominay are giving United nothing defensively in the air. I mean, these are some of the biggest giants on the pitch in the Premier League, but they're not helping United there. It's actually Maguire and Lindelof doing most of the work, and like we already know, Lindelof is not very good in the air, which makes the situation a bit tense. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what are you doing with your training there? It's kind of unfortunate though that Paul Pogba is actually not in the match, because defensively he's doing a bit more. He used to leak a lot and leave the central defense exposed, that's on the ground, but he's been doing a better job of late. So to have him not in the game is going to actually give Newcastle a bit of hope there. So basically, that's some of the news from the previous game against Arsenal, what I realized could affect United in this match. Let's move on to other facts. A fact that could give United the edge is that Steve Bruce is actually worse than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of being able to impact the match from the bench. I mean, that's a shock, right? Who would actually be worse than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of making decisions from the bench? But Bruce is showing that he's actually worse than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Against Liverpool, he made some switches which actually led to a goal. And in his previous match, I forgot against which team, 2-3 matches ago actually, he made some changes, and Lascelles had to clear from the touchline to sort of like deal with his mistakes. So when Steve Bruce makes a change tactically on the pitch, Manchester United should look to capitalize on that, because he usually makes changes that destabilize whatever team is coaching at that point in time. So if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't do the same as well to destabilize United and cause a goal, then United should actually benefit from that. But from the way I've been tracking, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just makes changes that do not impact the match, but they don't necessarily actually put United in a worse off position. They just have no impact. But Bruce, when he makes a change, things get worse. So United can actually benefit from that. The biggest players for United in this match should be Ashley Young, simply because he actually controls the possession for United and he creates the most chances. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is clever, because of the nature of Newcastle's defending, where they give you that area, he should actually put Mata in. Doesn't do a lot of running, but could help create something for a hapless Manchester United forward lineup. Also, McTominay is going to be big with his shots and his presence in the air, and to also assist Ashley Young in controlling the possession. Those people should be on the pitch. And then if McTominay is on the left, put Ashley Young on the left. If he's on the right, put him on the right. Make sure those two are paired nicely Up in front, I would suggest if they go with Twanzebe at the back, Dalot to be the right wing, Newcastle will give him a lot of space from which to cross from. And since it's a stupid team right now, it won't actually be a problem defensively, since Dalot is not actually very good at defending on the left wing. You can put James, you can try some of his curlers. Newcastle is going to give him the space, but the most important people for United in this match are going to be McTominay, Young, and James, who can exploit the space being left for Newcastle. Newcastle's most important people are Joelinton and Atsu, as they provide almost everything going forward and backward for Newcastle. You can actually see in terms of attacking, they're the ones shooting the most at the gate. They're the ones who are dribbling the most. They're the ones who are creating the most chances. In the air, Joelinton and Atsu are doing the most going forward. Even backwards, they're putting in a proper shift. So if United can deal with these two people, so much the better. And if Newcastle want to increase their advantage in the air, which is very distinctive when going forward compared to United has got nothing in that department. This is where we'll see whether Steve Bruce has got a brain or not. If you actually combine Joelinton and Andy Carroll and Atsu on the left side, their left attacking side, and overload Young and then Lindelof, there's a very good chance of getting some results. So those are the important people for Newcastle going forward and going backward. Basically, if United can stop those two, then United will be home and dry. Last but not least, United would do well to avoid Manquillo's side. Manquillo, I think he plays on the right, so if James is there, that's going to be a very interesting battle, another potential blockbuster. But with the way Manquillo is very good in defense and the way Newcastle will probably pick that defense, if Manquillo is on the pitch, then it's going to be a problem for James, and United's route to goal will be closed down. So we'll see how Bruce actually deals with that. So as you can see, this is all about the flip of a coin. Both teams are acting poorly. The only difference is one of the teams has got a major budget that I don't know what it's doing with, but this is the situation for both clubs. So it's a coin toss. Basically, is who's going to win. It's going to be down to some funny situations or some refereeing decisions. I do not want to call this. It's unfortunate that a club like United is involved, and I'm actually afraid to call it. It can actually go anywhere. It can actually end up as a draw, even though on paper Newcastle is looking like it's got more of an edge, but it also has so much going against it that's bad. So if you were to ask me who I am biased towards in this match, Newcastle would come up with a shocker, but then again, let me just stay neutral on this one. Like I did on the Arsenal match, it was up to Emery. Right now, it's just going to be up to who's going to take their chances, because both of these teams are lame. So thanks for staying with me this long. Just remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell notification button, share this video, and have the edge over other fans before the match with deep insights coming from the critique in my Manchester United football previews. Cheers.